It has been a while since I have spoken about Gypsy Rose, but I am back. Let's talk all things narcissists. So it has been brought to my attention that there were a few things that happened while I was on vacation. So I just want to cover a couple of those things. And let's start with her posting to her Instagram that she wants people to send her letters, which, not shocking, it is already gone. So I think that Gypsy wants so desperately to have people doing things for her because that's what she's used to. She's used to receiving all kinds of stuff all the time. But because this is a very bad habit that she has, I can see her family really trying to break her of this habit and to give her the self-awareness of like, Gypsy, you're behaving in the ways that your mother behaved, and this is not good if you want to break the cycle of trauma and abuse for when her daughter arrives. So I had a feeling that the reason why she was posting for letters was not really for letters. It was more for people to send her and her baby free things. And it seems like she has cleared up a lot of her content over the last couple of days. And as I've stated before, narcissists will go to extreme measures in order to regain the attention that they are so used to. And narcissists like Gypsy Rose do not care if it is positive attention or if it is negative attention, as long as they are getting attention. There has also been some talk about whether or not Gypsy is a sociopath or a psychopath. And the one thing that I learned about psychopaths is that psychopaths can operate on a wavelength of being a psychopath but not have the common characteristics to be a serial unaliver, where I think Gypsy falls into the category of being a sadist and this antisocial personality. I think Gypsy enjoys seeing people hurt. I think Gypsy enjoys being the person to hurt others. And I think that this idea of her being a sadist, her being a psychopath, her being a sociopath is the reason why there are so many people concerned for this child that she is going to be having. I talk about narcissism a lot on my page because I have personally endured a lifetime of narcissistic abuse through several different people. And the first person who abused me that was a narcissist was my mother. So as a child of a narcissistic mother, I am definitely able to speak on what her future child may endure if Gypsy does not get the help that she desperately needs to get. Gypsy was offered trauma therapy in prison and refused, saying that she did not need help. She currently states that she is getting therapy right now. However, she says that it's 1 day a week. And for somebody with the trauma that she has endured all of her life, being programmed to lie, manipulate, steal, cheat, whatever she needed to do in order to get public attention, 1 day a week does not seem like it's enough. And if she is actually in the therapy that she says she is in, she's not taking it seriously because her continued behavior on social media, in interviews, does not seem like that of a person who is getting the adequate help that she needs. She is saying one thing and her behaviors are doing the complete opposite. And that's the one thing that we all as a society need to remember, is that people are going to tell you what you want to hear. Instead of listening to what they're telling you, watch their actions. Because narcissists have a very, very convincing manner in which they can convince you anything by them just spewing out this charisma and charm that most of these people have. Narcissists are very charming, which is the reason why Ted Bundy was so able to manipulate the women that he later victimized, because they just were attracted to him and his charming ability. Gypsy has the same way with men that Ted Bundy had with women. And Gypsy takes great pleasure in getting these men to do as she wants them to do. So tonight, I want to focus a little bit more on the narcissistic behavior between mother and daughter. Because as I've already stated, if Gypsy does not get the help that she so desperately needs, her daughter is going to suffer tremendously. And we have already seen small hints of Gypsy using this child as a manipulative tool, an emotional blackmail tool, in order to get what she wants, or get the sympathy that she wants, or get the admiration that she wants. This child is not a child in Gypsy's eyes. It is a tool for her to further her public image. The most common tactic that narcissistic mothers use with their daughters is the constant need for control. And I can already see that Gypsy is going to want to dictate every single area of this child's life, because she does it with the men in her life as well. She uses people to portray the outward image that she wants everybody to see. And if anything threatens that in even the smallest way, there's going to be repercussion. Which I think is the reason why that she is so kind of hell-bent on Ryan kind of sticking to the narrative that they were, portraying in the media whenever she first got out of prison, and why she is so scared now that he's starting to move on, because she's losing grip with what she's able to control him saying or not saying in regards to her and her behavior and actions towards him. She will do the same with this child. Do you remember Kate plus 8 or whatever? That's a really, really great example of a narcissistic mother and how the abuse translated into the children. And because we know Gypsy lacks empathy for everyone around her, it's all about her, this child is not going to feel cared about, because it's always going to be about what Gypsy needs and what Gypsy wants. The child is honestly just there as like an accessory. Then there's the enmeshment. This is when parents kind of treat their children like their extension of themselves, rather than that child having its own identity. And we already know Gypsy loves to use emotional manipulation, and that's exactly what this child will be for her and for anything that she does once the child is born. And she will use the child to manipulate, gaslight, and emotionally blackmail anyone in order to get her way. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is the conditional love and approval. See, with narcissistic parents, there is no real love, because narcissists do not feel love, but they will give you attention based on your behavior. I can see Gypsy already competing with this child for attention, and that can become very dangerous, especially with a newborn child and with somebody who is as emotionally immature and bankrupt as Gypsy is. And I use the word emotionally bankrupt because we've already seen how she has villainized her own mother in the media to further portray the image that she wants as Gypsy being the victim. And narcissists always portray themselves as a victim. Sorry, this got a little long. If you like content like this, come back for a part 2.